Why has a man lost interest? Intimacy, boundaries, and the hidden reasons for a couple's discord. I often receive requests with the same painful question that can poison a relationship for months or even years. The question is, why has a man lost interest in me? Behind this question lies fear, pain, and a sense of being unneeded. Today, I want to have an honest conversation. There are many reasons why a man might become sexually distant, and not all of them have to do with falling out of love or finding someone else. Let's take a closer look at some of the less obvious reasons for a cooling relationship. Most often, a man distances himself not because he is not interested in you. He may be consumed by external circumstances, problems at work, financial losses, audits, conflicts with partners. Stress, serious illness of parents, quarrel with a close friend. Internal, endogenous factors, failure of the hormonal system, problems with testosterone, general apathy, loss of morning erection. At such moments, a man is immersed in a state of intense anxiety. He just doesn't have time for sex. His mind and body are struggling with the strain. And if there is no culture of open conversation in a couple, a woman can make a hasty and bitter conclusion: he doesn't want me anymore. But in fact, he needs support and understanding when the reason is different, an affair on the side and self-satisfaction. There are more complicated cases. Falling in love at a distance. He may be attracted to someone, but his moral principles or love for his wife prevent him from crossing the line. This state is often temporary. A mistress. The picture can vary. Some become passive with their wife, while others become unexpectedly active, releasing their pent-up arousal. However, there is a reason that has only recently been discussed, and it strikes at the core of relationships: the addiction to masturbation and porn. Let me be clear, a man who is addicted to masturbation is a sexual invalid. He is incapable of being with a woman. This is not an exaggeration. This is a real addiction, similar to drug or alcohol addiction. Why is this a problem? The body gets used to intense stimulation, and regular sex no longer brings that fast dopamine. If such a man is deprived of the opportunity to masturbate, he will begin a real withdrawal, mood swings, sweating, anxiety, obsessive thoughts. This problem also affects women. Maladaptive masturbation, for example, using a strong shower jet, leads to the fact that a woman loses sensitivity and cannot tune into a partner. She needs more and more stimulation, and her response to physical contact with a man has diminished. The main marker of the problem is when masturbation begins to replace sexual contact in a couple. If a man watches porn and masturbates in front of his wife, but does not have sex with her, this is a huge problem and a direct violation of boundaries. Sexual abuse and the destruction of self-esteem. I would also like to mention situations that can be disguised as normal for years. If a man does not sleep with his wife for years without any objective reasons and does not want to talk about it or make any changes, this is not a normal period. It is a form of sexualized abuse. It's a real abuse. Violation of sexual boundaries almost always leads to violation of psycho-emotional boundaries. What happens to a woman? She starts thinking, I'm not like that, I'm not beautiful, I don't arouse him. Her self-esteem is destroyed. The constant stress she has to adapt to eventually leads to illnesses, from gynecological problems to digestive system disorders. One of the most terrible forms of violation of the boundaries is when a woman herself crosses them, agreeing to sex without desire, by duty. Experts who say you are obliged, even if you don't want, do enormous harm. Sooner or later, a woman develops a persistent aversion to both sex and a man. She begins to unconsciously provoke conflicts, because conflict is a defense against unwanted closeness. What to do? Building a multifaceted relationship. Sex is an important, but not the only component of a relationship. This is not the foundation. The foundation is the diversity of your connections, what unites a couple when the first passion passes. Other touches remain: household, you are partners in home improvement. Intellectual, you share new knowledge, discuss books, works. Friendly, you support each other. Children, you can fool around together, have fun, ride on rides. If there are all these forms of intimacy in a relationship, then sexual boredom, a natural stage, will not be a disaster. Other bridges will help to restore passion, and of course, it's important to respect each other during times of crisis, such as during pregnancy. Don't be afraid to have sex with a pregnant woman. It takes a lot of effort to poke a baby in the forehead. However, if she doesn't want to, explore other forms of intimacy like hugging, kissing, and having heart-to-heart conversations. Refusal shouldn't be a directive to withdraw. It can be a gentle conversation: "Love, I want you very much, but I'm tired, I'm not in the mood today. Let's just hug." The conclusion is simple: relationships are a living, multifaceted organism. If there is a crisis in one area, maintain communication through others. Talk, respect each other's boundaries, and remember that a problem that remains unspoken grows like a snowball. On the other hand, a problem that is brought to light and discussed is already half solved. I am inviting you to the Moscow City podcast for 10,000 rub per hour.